I think not necessarily. I think that's one really big misconception, that you need a USP and you need to be very innovative. And I think, first of all, there probably needs to be a certain degree of what you do better than others. Yeah? You might say that's innovative in a certain way, but I think what's really important, if you say innovativeness, that can happen on several levels. And what people often see is only one level. That's like innovativeness based on the idea of the actual business model. Yeah, that's what people see like as the highest form of innovativeness when you do something really new and groundbreaking. And I would say, yes, it's nice. And it's great if you do something like Google, like sorting information in a new way. That's really cool. But that's not given to everybody, and that's completely unrealistic that most of the business ideas will do that. And I think before you come up with something that's really new on the conceptual level, on the idea level, and it's complete crap, rather do something that solves a concrete problem that's not that new, but you do it in a better way. And I think that's the second level of innovativeness. You can do you can be innovative on the process or on the execution level, right? So where you do things in a little better way, you're better in customer acquisition, you're better in customer retention, your product is neatly designed in a way where you'd say that's not really innovative, yeah, but that still has something that's unique and where you do something better. And I think that completely justifies your way of or your existence. And I think that's something that if you look at business school books, I think USP on a conceptual sense is way overvalued if you compare that to economic reality. Because there's a lot of businesses out there that in a business school type logic would not qualify as having a substantial USP. Yeah, I think if you want to grow a business really big and become like world market leader and blah blah blah, then that's probably a different case. But I mean, that's like, again, 99% of all businesses will never even come close to that, and they can have a very decent living and you can create a very good business without having a substantial USP, just by doing small little things better and executing better. I mean, most of the businesses out there that we see have been around for years and are exactly doing that. So, and so, again, I think it very much depends on the entrepreneur. There's people that are really gifted and that have some kind of creative element that other people don't have. I don't have that. So I think you have to be very realistic whether you're able to be conceptual innovative on a conceptual level or not, to a very high degree. And I would say you can be very creative and innovative on an execution and process level and still develop a very, very decent business that's not worth less or more than something that's innovative on the conceptual level. And if you're not gifted in a way, and I think you have to be very realistic, what you're doing in essence, I mean, that probably sounds hard, but if you're not gifted in a way and you try to do something really innovative on a conceptual level, what you're basically doing is wasting resources. Yeah. So, I mean, of investors, if you have investors, your own time, your family's nerves. Yeah. So I think you have to be very realistic in where you're positioned. And I think if you're innovative and do something good on the execution level, that's perfectly fine. If that's what you're able to do and where your talent is. Yeah, you also wouldn't ask, because it's the same thing as asking somebody to participate in the Olympic 100-meter run. There's very few very talented people that train incredibly hard that are able to do that. Yeah? So, and it's the same thing in business. I mean, there's some people that are very talented for a certain thing, and they're very gifted, and most people aren't. So, and I think in sports, people are very realistic. Yeah, if you're interested in football, that doesn't mean that you're able to be a Bundesliga soccer player. And the same thing goes for business. And if you're aspiring to be very innovative, you have to be a Bundesliga type entrepreneur, and that's not the case for most people. So, and then rather stay a little more to the ground and less innovative.